Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Sparring Sessions podcast. My name's Dax, and we're here today to break down best bets for UFC 315, Muhammad versus Maddalena. But first, before we get into anything, I'm going to bring in my co-host. It seems like you've been doing more of the bets recently than the predictions, but fair enough. You've been doing both. UFC Genie.
How's it going? I'm ready for this card, man. I've been waiting for this card for months, and we're finally in fight week, man. And it doesn't feel like we're days away from this event. It really doesn't.
No.
But, I'm ready for it regardless.
Yeah, I am too. You know, on the preview show I did with Radley, I gave this card, I think what did I say, B plus, maybe a B, somewhere around there. And then it kind of took a hit. You know, I think must have been less than 12 hours after I published the episode. Boom. Well, we had already kind of heard rumors that Joel Alvarez was out, but we get the official confirmation, and then we get the new fight, Benoit Saint-Denis. Not fighting, I'd seen rumors that Mateusz Rebecki wanted to get in. Gamrot said that BSD denied him, but no, we get Kyle Prepelic. Do you know if I'm pronouncing that correctly?
I don't.
Yeah, you're the Canadian. You should know.
At least BSD is still on the card. There was a few hours of time where we thought that it was just going to be off of the card. You know, we thought that we were just going to be down a fight.
It's a good fight. It's not the fight it could have been. So I guess does that sour your excitement overall on the card?
It takes a slight hit, but it's got to we didn't lose a fight. At least we got a replacement. So it goes from maybe a B to, I'll say, a B minus, maybe a C plus.
Yeah.
C plus, I'll say.
If they could have found somebody better than 35-year-old Kyle Prepelic, I mean, they just got to be bringing him in to be like a body or something at this point. But we'll have more to chat on. I guess not later, but maybe in the recap or something we'll chat about that. Speaking of recaps, great transition, huh? I'm hoping that UFC Iowa betting recap, UFC Des Moines. Some people were calling it. Jeannie, you were not on. I'll give you a chance to talk about your bets in a second. But for me, I had Smotherman City to end by KO at plus 145, did not hit. Sandhagen decision did not hit. Ponzi at minus 125 did not hit. And then Kooks and I had Bekayev minus 3.5. He had Loader straight, so I won that one. And Kooks did pretty well. Mace Pearson over 2.5. Robertson sub plus 175. She could have subbed her, but she chose the TKO route instead. Yana Santos, Kwang Lee, and Ryan Loader. So he went 3 for 5, did pretty well. Jeannie, I've heard rumors that the UFC Genie Discord was quiet for a little bit.
It was silent last week. It was. Listen, I was pretty busy last week. I got home and I was watching the card, but I even fell asleep for a little bit of the card. I won't lie. From what fight? It was the Mason Jones fight that I woke up in, and
that was a good one to wake up in. Yeah.
Yeah, and I started watching the card after that. I think I fell asleep right before the Jillian Robertson fight, actually. So I was I was tuned in, and then it just the card was pretty slow. I don't know. I was pretty tired anyways, and I fell asleep. But I had later in the card, I had Sandhagen by finish. I had him by KO over Davison Figueiredo. I saw those pictures come out. I don't know how legitimate they were, if they were actually like timeline wise in his like training camp, like a week out from the fight. But there was pictures that came out of Figueiredo that he looked way out of shape.
I had seen those. Those were from, because Will had actually sent those to me. Those were from his first move up to bantamweight.
Okay, so they were a while ago, actually.
Yeah.
But I saw those and I completely changed my tune, and I went with Sandhagen inside the distance because of it. And it turned out pretty good. It even was the KO as well. It wasn't the submission, even though it probably should have been a submission. I saw I saw with my own eyes Figueiredo tap.
Yeah.
His knee was in a position he didn't like, and he tapped. So, is that not a submission?
But well, luckily for you, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I had Bo Nickel in a parlay.
That was rough.
To admit it. I'm not proud to admit it. I was kind of chuckling to myself about it when that happened.
Yeah, I think it was bound to happen. The Bo Nickel fall off. I mean, it's not like he's been blowing anybody out of the water for a little bit, and RDR is just such a good guy that hopefully this will be good.
Paul Craig.
Oh my God! Don't even say the name Paul Craig. And they're not in the same realm. Although that'll be a fun fight. So it sounds like you didn't do too horribly, even though you didn't officially give out picks.
Yeah.
But we're going to be officially giving out picks, so you will be judged next week on the recap. That's right. Best bets from UFC 315 going down to the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 6:30. Have you been to the Bell Center? I know you've been to a few cards before. Have you been to the Bell Center?
I've never been to the Bell Center, no. I've been to Montreal, but I've never been to the Bell Center.
Well, I feel like we've said this enough times on shows, but we're actually going to be in attendance. A number of people are going to be there. You, me, a few of our buddies.
The meetup everyone's been clamoring for. Genie, Dax, and MMA Prospects.
MMA Prospects, he's back. So yeah, that'll be fun. Should be an interesting card, but these cards that could turn out to be a little mid. This is how we make it more exciting. These are our best bets, the ones we're probably putting the most money on, the ones that our friends are calling us up saying, hey, what are the bets? These are the ones we're giving them. So you know how it goes, Jeannie. You're the guest. You get to kick us off first. So what is your first best bet?
So I'm going to start us off a little bit lower in the card. Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Urslan.
Okay.
So Navajo Sterling, his last fight was against Tuco Tokos. It was his debut.
Goat.
Sorry?
Tuco Tokos, goat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said nope. Oh, okay. I thought you said nope. I was like, did I forget one? But no. 4 of his 6 wins are by first or second round KO under a round and a half. And that's going to be the bet here, is under 1.5 rounds. He didn't get Tuco out under 1.5, but I think that was more because Tuco wasn't really engaging on the feet. Navajo's kind of a counter striker like Israel Adesanya. Ivan Urslan, listen, he's not going to be shooting takedowns on him. He's going to be trying to strike with Navajo Sterling, I think. I don't see him as a very smart guy. He's a type of, he went with a brawl, like a life and death brawl with Ion Cutelaba, man. That was a barn burner. That was, man. I think he's gonna rush in the first round, and Navajo's gonna put him out like he usually does with most of the guys that he's been fighting. So yeah, under 1.5 rounds plus 150.
Any concerns that Ivan Urslan's only been put out once?
He did only get put out once, but it was in 2023, and the guy had a 4-inch reach advantage against him, and Navajo Sterling has a 7-inch reach advantage here.
Okay, fair enough. I did pick Sterling, so I like it. Yeah. I will kick myself off with also lower on the card, although I've seen some, depends on who you ask. I've seen some places that have this like second from top of the prelims. I don't think it should be there. Marc-Andre Barrial versus Bruno Silva. This is a matchup that Radley and I spent a little too much time talking about for two guys who honestly in this case, they're both on losing streaks. The only difference is you look at their losing streaks and they're a bit different. Bruno Silva lost 6 out of 7. Marc-Andre Barrial lost 4 out of 7. So, you can look at the competition too, but I'm going with Marc-Andre Barrial money line. I think he wrestles. And more than anything, this is a fade on Bruno Silva because he looked so bad against Ismail Nardiev. 30 seconds in, I had a bet on him. I think he was an underdog. Yeah, he was a plus 150 against Ismail Nardiev. And Nardiev isn't like a crazy good guy, in my opinion. Like, decent, but yeah, losing to Chris Weidman in 2024. And even like some of his higher level losses, Shar Magomedov, Brendan Allen, he didn't look good on the feet against Brendan Allen. GM3, he got beat up on the feet. I think Bruno Silva is done. I think he's been done for a minute. And I think maybe he takes a little bit of a beating in the first round. I think his chin is, okay. It's not great. He's been put out twice in a row, but not great. It's okay. And he just kind of power bars his way to a sloppy decision, maybe 29-28, that may be. So yeah, that's my first best bet. Are you giving me a look because you're picking?
I'm going against you, and I was gonna wait to say it, but just because you brought up Marc-Andre Barriault, I gotta bring out Bruno Silva at this point. I think Marc-Andre Barriault's chin is completely toast at this point, man.
Yeah,
I don't like how he looked. I mean, he got knocked out in very quick fashion against Dustin Stoltzfus.
Yeah.
And Joe Pyfer as well. And I get it's Joe Pyfer, but like that's damage you cannot take back. He got face planted by Joe Pyfer. He was unconscious, like face planted on the mat. Like that's a terrible look. And say what you want again about Bruno Silva losing, but nobody's putting this dude face planted on the mat. And he's losing to guys like Chris Weidman, who, I mean, sure, it's Chris Weidman in 2024, but that is a former champion. And Shara Magomedov, pretty good striker. Brendan Allen, I mean, this dude's losing to title contenders, Brendan Allen. You can go down the list here. Gerald Mearshart brought Reiner de Ritter to the third round and made it like life and death with him. Alex Pereira. Like, these are not bad losses. And then you look at Marc-Andre Barriault, and he's getting face planted by Joe Pyfer and Dustin Stoltzfus back to back. And that's stuff you can't take back. And Bruno Silva, 20 of his 23 wins are KO.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it going Marc-Andre Barriault's way. And I would love it for it to go Marc-Andre Barriault's way. But, like, even his wrestling isn't that dominant. He has a 25% takedown accuracy. And Bruno Silva's takedown defense is 75%. Like, these are like, I just don't see it happening, man. There's a lot of stars that have to align for Marc-Andre Barriault here, and I don't see his chin holding up.
I think it will. Bruno Silva just looks so bad to me. I can't imagine that, like, he's going to come out here with a fire. I mean, 6 of 7, and the wrestling, I think, could be an interesting play here. Marc-Andre Barriault doesn't really wrestle. Grappling. We'll say grappling. Cage control. I feel like Marc-Andre Barriault, especially in that Stoltzfus fight, because, you said it, Pyfer's Pyfer. I think he just wanted to come out and, like, put on a show for the Canadian crowd. And maybe this will be a theme going forward in this episode, but I think I think he learned his lesson about putting on a show. And I think he's going to come out here and be a little smart, play it a little smart. Take home a victory. But I guess we'll
see.
We'll vary. So that was one of your official
best
bets.
That's an official pick. Bruno Silva plus 124.
Plus 124. All right. I'll go with my next one. I am going with Alexa Grasso moneyline plus 205.
Stole it from me.
Oh, you have it too?
I do.
I'll jot that down. I keep track of yours too. Grasso plus 205. I actually got this at a little bit higher. I got it plus 220, but it's what's available as we're writing down these, filming this episode. So Grasso, Natalia Silva is a very hard fight, but I just think her experience is gonna play up here. She can wrestle. She was a striker coming up, and people forget about that. And then she submitted Shevchenko, and everybody kind of labeled her a grappler for some reason. Maybe it was like the Diego Lopez being in a corner, but Natalia Silva, she has 5 losses. I mean, one of them is Marina Rodriguez, sure, but she has 5 losses earlier in her career, and I don't think that I don't rate Jessica Andrade very highly at flyweight. Maybe that'll come up later too, and I don't really rate Viviane Araujo that high.
You should try that name again.
Araujo, is that it?
I think the first one deserves a retelling as well. The first
Viviane
name.
Araujo.
There we go.
All right. I'm not Portuguese, or I'm not Brazilian. But yeah, Grasso, I think she can make it dirty. I think she can outbox Natalia Silva, maybe get on the inside with some clinches, maybe catch a kick and get some takedowns. So that, and then the finishing upside, in my opinion, is all on Grasso. I don't think Grasso's only been finished once by Tatiana Suarez a long time ago. I don't think that's happening here. So for all that, give me the recent champion at a huge underdog. So let's see, Jeannie, you've given me 3 so far. Are you sticking with Grasso or are you switching it? Because I took it.
Grasso would be the third one that I gave you then.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. So I'll give another one and then we can head back to you.
Sure.
After.
Sure.
I'll go Brad Katona money line plus 140. I'm guessing you don't have that one.
I don't. I mean, I'm not going to bet on Bexat, but I mean, I could see Brad winning. I talked pretty bad about him in my prediction video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at Bexat, and again, the experience, the records are actually pretty similar, but Ultimate Fighter, you got just time training, time in the UFC and higher level organizations. Bexat was taken down pretty convincingly against Umar, and he landed that overhand. But I think Brad Katona, he's not the grappler Umar Nurmagomedov is, but he's pretty good at exploiting the other person's weaknesses in general. It's just how well he can do that. He'll have a reach disadvantage here, but I think he can get inside. 1.88 takedowns per 15 minutes. I would bet you money his attempts are a lot higher than that. That's kind of why his accuracy is so low. But Umar Nurmagomedov got 5 takedowns on Bexat, and Bexat only got 3 significant strikes on the feet. So I like Brad Katona at plus 140 when we're seeing him against a guy who hasn't gotten a high level win. So yeah, that's my third one. All right, Jeannie, what's your fourth one?
Number 4, I will give you Jose Aldo against Zahabi. I like his money line. It's a little juiced, it's minus 200, minus 210 or whatever, but sure. I still think there's value there. This is a mostly striking matchup. Zahabi's not going to be grappling him. He's mostly a striker. He's not you look back at any of his last fights, he doesn't shoot takedowns. He's a striker. And I mean, he is a smart guy. He's a game planner, but I think he's going to try to be striking with Jose Aldo. And I just don't think it's going to work. I think Jose Aldo's too good of a striker, leg kicker. I think Jose Aldo's going to take home decision victory, but the money line of Jose Aldo is definitely worth it at minus 200 still. So
I agree. I just didn't want to put him in at minus 200, but maybe I should have. I don't know. I like it though. I think he's definitely going to win here. My fourth one, I'm going Modestas Bukauskas. Money line, minus 105. This line doesn't really make a lot of sense to me right now. I think you look at Ilan Kutalaba, he's like how do I put this? I don't want to call his win streak fraudulent because it's not. 2-fight win streak. He finished Ibo Aslan, but that was a dumb Ibo Aslan, in my opinion. Not like he shot for a takedown against Ivan Kutalaba. That's dumb. And then Ivan Arslan, we kind of talked about. Not blowing the doors off anybody.
Ibo really wanted to get him out in that first round.
He really did.
Any means necessary.
I mean, Modestus, he can. We just saw him get a first round KO, but he's looked great since coming back. And I think he can. Honestly, I think he could take him down if he wanted to, but I don't think that will be the game plan. Kutalaba is pretty bad when he's getting taken down. But I think he can strike on the feet too. 4 inches of reach, and he'll be a lot bigger. And only ever really lost by this time around. To Vitor Petrino. I guess before kind of too. Only ever really lost by kind of getting put out, or like knocked down a bunch. I don't really think Iwan's going to do that. He hasn't really been grappled a lot. Modestus and 71% takedown defense on the other side. That's something that Iwan's going to probably want to do. So yeah, give me Modestus Bukauskas at -105. All right, and Jeannie, do you have one more for us?
Yep, this is number 5.
This is number 5.
All right, so I'll finish it off with some Canadian talent. I don't know if you saw, but if you look at the sign behind me, it's Canadian themed this week. I got red and white on there.
Oh, okay.
So we're going Canada colors, and I'll give you a Canadian as the last bet. Mike Malott versus Charles Radke.
Ooh.
You look at the lines for the finish wise, like for Mike Malott, they seem to think that it's going to a decision. Like they're given plus 260 out for the points. And you look at KO or submission, they're giving you better odds for both of them. Or they're giving you actually a little less odds for the KO, actually. But I think Mike Malott's going to get it done inside the distance is what I'm trying to get at here.
Sure.
Only one of his fights he's ever won by decision. Every one of his other fights, 4 of them are KO wins and 6 of them are submission wins. I'm going to take Mike Malott inside the distance at plus 100.
Okay, interesting. Well, I'm going to steal a value play from myself and ask you this. Could I interest you instead on Mike Malott -3.5 at plus 130? Does that interest you anymore?
At how much? What are the odds?
Plus 130 for -3.5.
I'm getting -130 on Bet Online, but I would like that.
Okay. Sticking with inside the distance, though.
Yeah, I'll stick with inside the distance. I think Charles Radke's a fraud.
Malott inside the distance at even money. All right. Well, I'll give away a value play from later. I was going to recommend Malott -3.5, but I'll go ahead and delete that now since
you can keep it.
Here. All right. Speaking of decisions, my final best bet, JDM versus Bilal Muhammad, the main event. I did want to have something here. I think this is a pretty obvious one or the other situation here. I think either JDM KOs him or Malott or Muhammad gets a decision win, right? Pretty dominant in my opinion. So what I've gone ahead and done is JDM decision no bet at -160. So that's essentially saying if there's a finish, it's going to be JDM. If it goes to the decision, I just get my money back.
That's an absolute hammer.
I mean, you look at Muhammad, he has 24 wins, 75%, 18 out of those 24 are by decision. His only finishes lately are Sean Brady, which I don't think he's going to KO JDM on the feet. I would be very impressed if he did.
That was early as fuck too.
That was, I don't know. We'll maybe we'll go back and
You disagree? You agree to disagree on that one?
Agree to disagree. Yeah, maybe if we ever have like a early or not show, we'll include that one.
All right.
Takashi Sato by submission. Augusto Montano, almost 10 years ago, and that's it in the UFC. And even on the regional scene, he's decisioning guys 7-9. He's taking them to decision. So on the other side, JDM pretty exclusively wins by finish. He has two decisions in the UFC to two very, very tough guys. But besides that, yeah, just pretty much KOs. And Muhammad, when he loses, it's by, I guess, two are by decision, but one's by KO. And yeah, I like that.
That Leon fight seemed to be looking one way before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I'm including that in my head. But
yeah.
All right, so that is it for best bets. Just to recap, I have Barrio, Grasso, Katona, Bukaskis on money line, and JDM decision no bet. Jeannie, you have Sterling, Urslan under 1.5, Silva, Grasso, Aldo, and Malott inside the distance. I like it. No sparring sessions parlay of the week this week. We're figuring out what we want to do with it. Maybe we'll keep it around, but maybe a break, maybe some absence will make the heart grow fonder. How about that? Instead, we'll jump right into value plays worth mentioning. So this is plays that we didn't necessarily want to give out during best bets. Maybe they're higher odds. Maybe it's a long shot 6-leg parlay for the true degens. But yeah, Jeannie, you are up first on value plays. Actually, no. You went first for best bets. I'm going to go first for value plays this time. I only have 3 now that one of mine was given out earlier. So I'll give out one here, and then I'll give out the last 2 after you go, because they're kind of related. Sterling decision plus 235. I know you said inside the distance or under 1.5, but he won against Tuco by decision. Never really looked close to either guy finishing that fight. And
Tuco was about to submit him at any moment.
Tuco by sub plus 2,500, actually. Yeah. Urslan on the other side, I think he knows he's kind of fighting for his job, and he's been to a few decisions before. Maybe he tries to wrestle, but I think Navajo is... Bradley kind of compared him to Carlos Oberg on the preview show, Navajo Sterling. And that got me thinking, well, what is Carlos Oberg famous for these days? Decisioning people. Playing it smart, working his way up the rankings. I think maybe he does that here. And for plus 236, if it's boring, at least we'll be winning some money, right? So that's my first value play. What do you got for me?
I'm going to give you a 2-leg parlay that I like to call the and new parlay.
Oof. Okay. Interesting.
So I think you can use some, the first leg, we're going co-main event.
Sure.
And I think Manofiorat's taking it from Valentina. She's going in the parlay money line. And we're pairing that up with the second and new of the night in the main event, Jack Della Maddalena, plus 338 when you pair them up.
Really? There's that really? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So I like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't hate it. Actually, I kind of do. I don't know. I don't know. I still have to collect my thoughts.
I don't mind.
We have to submit our official picks in a few days here, and I have to collect my thoughts on those last 2 fights. I made very hesitant plays on the preview show or picks for those 2. So I think I picked both of them. So that's a good value play. Next up for me, I have 2 submission lines for you. Let's play the guessing game. You might have looked at these already, but let's play the guessing game here. Jasmine Jestovicius by sub. What do you think?
Plus 400.
Plus 400, not quite. I'm seeing her at plus 300, but you're right in the ball game. Lost recently to Tatiana Suarez by guillotine. Lost to Erin Blanchfield by rear naked choke. Valentina probably could have commemorated her from the crucifix instead of just elbowing her, but either way. Rear naked choke back in the day against Rocky Pennington. Rear naked triangle choke against Marion Renault. These were at bantamweight, but still. I think Jasmine will come in here, out-hoss her, definitely, I think. And Jasmine's been getting a few finishes here and there, mainly by Darce choke. Maybe if you can get like a Jasmine by Darce choke at like plus 2,000, plus 1,500 or something, that would be a cool one. But I think she comes in here, makes a statement, and submits Jessica Andrade. And then my other one, going back to a fight we talked about earlier, where is this here? Modestas Bukauskas and Ion Cutelaba. Bukauskas by sub. I won't have us play the guessing game here. But Bukauskas by sub is my next and final value play at plus 1,200. Maybe he catches him in a gilly. Maybe he takes him down and submits him. But he has an arm triangle choke against Marcin Prachniow. And he has a few rear naked chokes back in the day on the Cage Warriors scene. On the other side, though, Cutelaba got submitted by Johnny Walker and Ryan Spann. And Ryan Spann's a little bit better of a submission artist, but Johnny Walker, really? Like, what are we doing here? So I think if Johnny Walker can submit him, and Modestas Bukauskas has clearly been training his ground game, that maybe we get a submission here. Those are my last two value plays. Do you have any more for us, Jeannie?
I was gonna try to give you a cycle parlay in honor of Maddie Betts, but I couldn't. It wouldn't give me the odds for it, so I won't give it out.
Bummer.
Yeah. So
you want to say what odds you would like it at?
I'll just I'll tell you what it would have been. I was gonna do Bruno Silva KO. So the cycle parlay is one fight KO, like another fight you're picking him to win by sub. The third fighter you're picking to win by decision. So I was going Bruno Silva KO, Mike Malott by sub, and then Jose Aldo by decision. And I couldn't find the odds on it, so I just abandoned it. But that will be the cycle parlay that I'm doing.
Interesting. You said Jose Aldo by decision was the last one?
Yep, that's the last one. And that's in honor of Maddie Betts. I got to give him his shake because he kind of created this online.
Did he?
Yeah, not a lot of people were doing it before him.
I like it. I like gambling gimmicks. There's some guy on, I want to say the Action Network or something, doing a climb, which is a Twitter thing where you bet like a different -500 or 600 every day or every week. I think he's doing it like one each card. I think he's at like 10 or 11, which, start small, but start with $100 and I think overall you can win a few thousand, 4,000, 5,000, something like that. 5,000.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our value plays. Jeannie, thanks so much for coming on, as always.
Always a pleasure.
Should be a fun event. I'm looking forward to it. And with these bets that especially now that we're differing on one, that's going to be quite the. We're not sitting anywhere. I actually don't know where your seats are. I don't think we're sitting together, but maybe we have a little chug contest or something for the loser.
Maybe, yeah. We can do
not in the octagon.
Maybe we can do a post-fight recap outside the venue.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that. That'd be cool. Yeah.
And thank you for watching, for listening. Hope we won you some money with our thoughts here, or maybe you go against all our plays and win some money there. Either way, hope you win and hope you have fun. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.